Hey YouTube, it's another perfect day in God's country and I ain't lying. Listen folks, most of the people who might tune into this channel to watch the old hillbilly sling his guitar or speak a little bit about a little truth, a little reality, a little common sense, a little keeping both boots on the ground. We know that most of the systems in this realm we find ourselves living in at this moment in time on this earth that lies within the waters that we call home. Listen, most of our systems are broken and failing, and that's kind of across the board. Like an old friend of mine, Matt, used to say, you can pretty much put everything on the wall in one room, all the systems and all the news stories and everything all around you, blindfold yourself, spin around, throw a dart at the wall, whatever topic it hits, dive into and start to research, and you will quickly discover a broken or failing system or some kind of, quite frankly, horse shit. So, old Lucky's tired of broken systems. So what do I find myself dealing with recently? Hey, yet another broken system. What system is that, Lucky? Well, the system of reviewing gear, musical gear, audio gear, lighting equipment, sound equipment, guitars, and other necessities of life. Things that are Fender and Gibson shaped, Americana at its finest. What system are you getting on about now, Lucky? What's broken now, Lucky? Well, I'm quickly finding that the system of reviewing musical gear online is broken and rigged like every system we have. Am I sitting here telling you all these guys saying, hey, this is a cool piece of gear, or some kind of Freemasonic dirtbag conspiracy dudes deep down in a deep dark rabbit hole cesspool of propaganda, social engineering, agenda-based horse pucky? No, they're getting free gear sent to them. That's how this is going. Lucky done figured this one out quick. Every one of these reviews of a piece of gear, somebody starts by saying, well, they sent me this to review. I'm going to check it out, and then I'm going to keep it and use it. Yeah, the system rigs itself, folks. Okay, nobody sends me any free gear. I want to start off by saying that. By the way, to all you guys, anybody wants to send me some free gear, ship it on down. I'm going to give you an honest review. But I felt it's time to, give you guys an honest review of some what I would consider to be, or hope to be, or, certainly expect to be high-end gear. And today I want to speak about the Bose SP1 Pro. What a super duper cool, it's 14 pounds, first of all, folks. This is 14 pounds, okay? I ordered this, and unfortunately, I am shipping it back, and I am not thrilled about that because I love this piece of gear for what it is. However, I watched several reviews prior to ordering it, and I don't feel that anybody that reviewed it spoke truthfully about it. First of all, epic piece of gear. Has a lithium battery in it, so if you just typically use it plugged in, it's charging itself all the time, and you can then just use it anywhere, and it'll last like 8 hours or something, supposedly. I ran it for a while for about 4 hours on the battery and noticed no loss whatsoever. Now, the reason I'm doing this review is because I feel that it needs an honest review. Now, as soon as it showed up, I was excited. I plugged in. Well, it sounds pretty good. Now, I want to point out, I'm going to show you guys this guitar. This is my at least 15-year-old J200 made in Bozeman, Montana, hand-built by American craftsmen. One of the reasons why it's one of the best sounding, best playing money makers I've ever owned. By the way, if this looks like a Gibson commercial, it's not. Nobody's paying me to do anything. Why am I standing here with a Gibson in my hand? And I just noticed I happen to have my Gibson shirt on. Gee, well, that's because it was free. It was given to me by a Gibson employee. So, of course, my drawer is full of free T-shirts. But there is a thing called loyalty in Lucky's world. And Gibson has put a lot of meat and potatoes and bread on my table over the years. I've been making money with my Gibsons for 30 years now. And that's enough for me. And this one is no different. I bought this brand new off the wall, hanging in a music store in Nashville in 2010. I've never looked to see what year it is. It could be a 2008, could be a 2009, could be a 2006 or 7. These don't fly off the shelves because they ain't real cheap. But this one, I've been playing live now for over 15 years, and it's very well opened up. Now, the reason I'm saying this, I'm going to give a message to the Bose engineers here. This guitar produces one of the biggest, fattest live tones. It's got the Aurora Lips, I think it's called, Fishman pickups in it. And one of the reasons I bought that guitar is because I liked the way it sounded. There was a guy, I believe his name was Dave Cox, doing the gruesome 4-hour shifts during the day down there on Broadway, who was playing a J200 live there at, I think it was Roberts. And I had never heard a guitar sound that big and that fat live. And now Dave, I hope I got his name right, is a heavy hitter and digs in a lot like me. So that's where I first started going, that's the guitar I want. And ever since I bought it, I've been very happy. Now my live guitar tone straight through a speaker like this is so big and fat, it eats PAs for lunch. For years, my live PA was a Bose Model 1. I don't remember when they came out. I bought it when it was brand spanking new the moment it came out. Loved it. Ran my SM58 through it for must be 1,500 gigs. And that was just my vocal PA. And then I came over to the dark side and started playing acoustic shows almost exclusively. And I only got maybe 6 gigs out of that Bose Model 1 before it died. I later realized I think I killed it with my J200 because this thing is so big and fat and powerful, and it eats speakers for lunch. But the other thing is I use an SM58, always have. 40 years. I think I'm still using the same SM58. I do believe I've had it that long. So this will not handle my J200. It simply farts out, as we call it, right? Even at low volumes, like 3 or 4. But I also find it really won't handle my vocal through an SM58. So I'm very frustrated with that and wanted to give an honest review and talk to Bose because this is an epic piece of gear. And I think they're flying off the shelves. And I think a lot of people are digging them and this and that and this. Lucky's opinion, as somebody who uses his gear to make money, okay, I'm a professional player. I play bars for money. Still, I don't know why. Like a crazy old soldier, I just never know when to quit. So I was very excited about this piece of gear. However, it cannot handle the power coming from my J200, and it cannot handle the power coming from my vocal through an SM58. Even down at like 3 and 4, it simply farts out. My message to Bose is, this is almost the perfect piece of gear for a guy like me, and I know there's lots of us. I'd rather it be 25 pounds and get the job done perfectly and have all the same features. I absolutely love the simple controls, the ones on board that just have bass, treble, and reverb and volume. Love it, love it, love it. It's a live performer's dream. Okay, I love this thing, but it won't handle the job for me. But I love the way it's set up. I love the quick on off, the volume knob. It's got the reverb on each channel. It's all I want. That's all I need. Don't add anything crazy. I wish it didn't even have Bluetooth. I think it has Bluetooth. That's fine. I get it. Lots of people like that. I'd rather they added a little weight if that's what it took and make it a little bit louder and a whole lot cleaner. You know, it'd be the perfect piece of gear. If it were about double what it is, maybe even that. I don't know. But it's so close to being the perfect piece of gear, everything would be great if it was up to what I would consider to be the standards that I expect from Bose. To me, it let me down. Now, again, I am telling you, and I'm not just saying this, my live sound tends to be bigger and fatter than most. I mean, what I'm inputting. I put in a lot of big low-end power into my SM58, and most importantly, my J200 will eat speakers for lunch, period. What is it that I continue to use because it keeps getting me by very nicely? Freaking altos. They handle the lows. They handle my J200. They duplicate my voice accurately. They duplicate my guitar accurately. And they're relatively inexpensive. But I'm more than willing to pay for something that's far superior. This Bose unit here, I absolutely love it, man. If it was about, I need it to be about double what it is, right? But it's got to handle it, man. It's got to be loud and fat. It's got to be fat and big. That's what we know Bose for. That's what we want. It's got to be big and fat and handle it. It's got to be clear and clean. It's got to be big and fat and clean. It's almost as if this unit is almost loud enough. It might be loud enough, except it can't handle what you're putting into it at those volumes. So, Bose, man, you get something about 22 pounds, 24 pounds, even 26 pounds. If it has to be a little bigger, fine. I love the size of it. A little bigger would be fine. Don't go nuts. Right? You'd have the perfect piece of gear. That's Lucky's opinion. Honest review on the Bose what the hell is it even called? The Pro SP1 Pro Plus. I did not buy the wireless units, which is also super cool, folks. Imagine that you can just set this thing down, run it on battery, and it's got the wireless to hook up to your microphone and the wireless to hook up your guitar. Myself, I don't need those because I play clubs and venues, and I don't want to risk any loss in sound quality by using the wireless. But I may, if they made one of these that could handle the job that I need it for, then I would probably own two of them, and I probably would get the two wireless pieces for certain types of gigs, like down at the park under the pavilion, things like that, and just go, heck with it, no cords, battery powered, beautiful. I love the unit, I love the idea, but it can't handle basically any job for me, so I have no use for it, and that really frustrates me. It can't handle the job, period. And so I felt like, hey, I should come on and give an honest review. Now, if you're just using it for loud music on the patio or something like that, fine, man. Bose, you're this close to having in my opinion, the best piece of musical gear that I would probably ever own. Now, I can still tell you this, the best guitar amp ever made, and that my moneymaker for years and years and years, the 22-watt Fender Blackface Deluxe, right? I'm a simple guy. You got something that works. Why is that a great amp? Because every time you plug into it, it already sounds great before you do anything. You already sound great, big, fat, get the Fender sheen. Then you can tweak it and dial it in. If the amp sounds crappy when you first plug in, and you're like, oh, what can we do? That's not a good starting point. Bose products, I love them because as soon as you plug an SM58 into them, check 1, 2, they sound big, fat, they got character, they sound great. So very close to the perfect piece of gear for a guy like me. You make this thing where it can handle the job, Bose, and you're on to something. Do not make this thing more complicated. I love the simple controls. That is so important to a guy walking in a room with an SM58 and an acoustic guitar to not have to be a freaking sound engineer to get in and do your thing, okay? You make one of these that will work for Lucky Haskins, and I'll buy 2 of them, Bose. Anyway, that's an honest review. I'm very grateful and thankful that I have the opportunity to send this back because it's not a cheap piece of gear, And I absolutely love it. I considered keeping it because I'm like, but it's so cool. But it literally will not handle any job that I can think of that I need it to do. So I have to send it back and hope that Bose makes one that's way cooler. And I miss my Model 1 so bad. Bose, you want to help a hungry man out? I think I blew the power amp in it, and I suspect my J200 did that. And I swear I got 1,500, maybe 2,000 gigs out of that Bose Model 1. I bought it absolutely right when it came out because Bose stepped up and gave some to some top flight Detroit musicians. And I was aware that they were going to be trying out this new Bose stuff at the gig. I went to the gig, checked it out, went and bought one as soon as they came out. And the Bose Model 1 was my favorite piece of gear for a long, long, long time. So I'm qualified to tell you that I'm disappointed with this. And I'm not saying it's a disappointing piece of gear. It won't handle the job Lucky needs it to do. And I sure wish it would, man. I'd take 2 of them. All right, y'all. Ask yourself, who can I help today? And most importantly, pick up your guitar and play, my man. Or my gal.